Good morning. I hope that you are practicing radical self-care. I hope that you are daily meditating. I hope that you are doing some positive affirmations to change that internal critic, that internal dialogue in your head. I hope that you are, getting exercise, drinking plenty of water, eating healthy food, surrounding yourself with safe, kind, loving, considerate, caring, honest people. I hope that you are that you have a trauma therapist if you are able to avail yourself of that, and that you're reading holistic books to help you heal. So in this video, what I'm going to talk about is why somebody that has a personality disorder, whether it be borderline or narcissism, NPD, or antisocial personality disorder, or somebody that has these high traits, but especially narcissism, I'm going to focus on why they cannot love you. And the first thing you need to know is that it actually has nothing to do with you. The reason why a narcissist cannot bond, they do not bond with you, they do not bond with their own biological children, they do not bond with stepchildren, even if they've spent 10 years with them, they do not bond with the affair partner, they do not bond with the affair partner's children, if there is one, they do not bond with their parents, their siblings, their friends, they do not have any sort of sticky glue, true bonding with other human beings. Relationships are not a priority to them, although these are people that absolutely cannot do without humans. So they can't be alone. They're very rarely ever single. All their relationships are overlap. They absolutely cannot be alone. They do not take breaks. I've taken 3 years off between the narcissistically abusive relationship, and I've been single for 3 years. I've dated a little bit here and there, but I've been mostly single for that time out of choice, definitely out of personal choice, because I need to do a lot of healing in order to feel, like I want to put the investment that's required into a relationship, one. And two, I'm really, really picky. I become really selective about who I spend my time with, and I'm not going to settle. And I know what I want. I know what my ideal partner is, and I'm not going to settle for anything less than that. So basically, let's go back to why a narcissist can't love. Well, it's because they are not them, if that makes sense. They are sending a mask. It's not a true self. They're sending a false self to the world. Their true self has been disavowed. It's hidden away. They're not in touch with their true self. I don't even think that they're aware of this fact. I mean, I'm skeptical that they're even in touch with the fact that they send a mask to the world. They're not in touch with the true self. So the mask they send to the world is very different than how they actually feel internally. Especially with covert narcissists, they are sending this mask of perfection, kindness, decency, monogamy. They're a good guy or a good girl. That's what they're sending to the world. Maybe even particularly altruistic. Think Catholic priests, not all of them, but think Catholic priests that are coming across as incredibly benevolent and kind, and then they're molesting little children. I'm not saying all Catholic priests do that by any means, absolutely not, but just that could be an example of a covert narcissist, or cult leader that's coming and it's just like so wonderful and I love everyone, peace and love and joy, and then they have this secret life of material possessions, taking money from their followers, using their followers for sex or money or validation or whatever, right? So a lot of cult leaders do happen to be narcissists. So because, it's like they think they're God, right? But so, the narcissist does not send their true self. They are sending a mask. A mask can't love another human being. A paper mache cardboard cutout cannot love another human being. They can't send, in order to have true intimacy, you have to send yourself to relationships. You have to be authentic. You have to be yourself. You can't, send this fake person and, connect with other human beings. So they, why do they send this false self? Well, It's probably because when they were little, there's something happened with that fundamental attachment relationship. They did not properly attach to their primary caregiver. Could be because they were a difficult child. Maybe they had tantrums. Maybe they were a difficult child. And maybe that parent had sort of dismissive, avoidant, or fearful, avoidant attachment style themselves, and they didn't bond. So that child did not get the kind of nurturing and connection with their primary caregiver that would have created secure attachment. So I think, a lot of the therapists say that people that are narcissists either have like dismissive avoidant attachment style, or they even have, fearful avoidant. They have this avoidant attachment style. So they grow up and they think that they can't be loved. They do not believe that their true self is lovable, because when they were little, that was the case. They had to be perfect. They had to perform perfection in these families in order to be loved, right? So they performed perfection. They kept up the mask, and that has become who they are, right? Their true self is disavowed. They're not in touch with their true self. So they're sending this representative, this ambassador, to all of their relationships. And that ambassador, again, it's a paper mache cutout. So how can they possibly bond? You're not sending your true self. You're not going to be really loved for your true self because you don't send that. So the people that are in relationship with you, they have no idea. They think, a lot of times they buy into the mask. They think that's who you really are, which the mask can be quite lovely. If they're a covert narcissist, it can be a mask of perfection. They may appear to be particularly kind, have a particularly high level of integrity, like almost holier than thou, like a halo effect. They may be like floating above the universe. And really, internally and in their double life, they're cheaters, they're liars, they're gaslighters, they're duplicitous, they're manipulating people, they're con artists, they are gaming people. I mean, these are emotional and psychological con artists, because they do not really love. They love bomb. So when they're with the affair partner, or where they're with the new source of supply, they're definitely love bombing that person. Love bombing, if they're overt, can be the form of charismatic and charming and, flattery and overt sort of love bombing. Or if they're covert, it might be in a different form. It might be just like this sweet, shy, vulnerable. They're kind of the victim. And if they broke up with somebody, that person, really didn't treat them right. And you, if you're the new source of supply, you may be like, wow, I'm so lucky. I won the prize. I can't believe somebody let this amazing person go, right? You will find out that is not you. That's not who you're with. You are not with an amazing person. You're with somebody who is a fundamentally dishonest at the very core of their humanity, which is totally disavowed. Like, they are not who they present to be. You did not win the booby prize. I mean, you did not win the grand prize. You won the booby prize. You are literally in a relationship with somebody, unfortunately, who has no capacity to bond with you. There's no sticky glue. There is no, they're going to throw you under the bus. They're going to do a smear campaign. They are going to go behind your back and be very duplicitous. They are going to cheat on you. They are going to lie to you. They are going to manipulate your emotions. They're going to gaslight you. They are going to operate in intermittent reinforcement, breadcrumbing. This is their arsenal. The tools that narcissists have in their toolbox are tools of manipulation, gaslighting, lying, stonewalling, cheating, lying, you name it. That's what's in their toolbox. They don't have the tools in their toolbox of authenticity, honesty, decency, integrity. These are the least integrous people you will ever meet. All of us have problems. None of us are perfect, right? We all make mistakes. We all have problems. None of us are perfectly honest. Everyone's got issues, right? We're humans. But the narcissist presents to be somebody who's entirely, who has a lot of integrity often, and they literally are the opposite of what they present. The dichotomy is giant. So the reason the narcissist cannot love you is because they don't love anyone. They don't bond with anyone, and they definitely do not love themselves, right? They do not. I know they come across as very superior and better than everyone, and they come across as being perfect. But if you have any intuition, you know that there's something there that you pick up, that they have this actually quite a fragile self-worth, very fragile ego, which is evidenced by the fact that they're hypersensitive. They cannot tolerate any criticism, either perceived or real, right? So they're like prickly pears when it comes to any suggestion that they're less than perfect, right? So if that's how they are, it's pretty easy now for me to spot somebody who's has those narcissistic traits, because they can't take criticism. They can't take any sort of criticism, whether it's perceived or real. They're hypersensitive. They must be perfect. That's a sign to me of deep insecurity. I'm not fooled anymore. Deep insecurity. These people are incredibly fragile. Their egos are incredibly fragile, but they hide behind this mask of perfection and invulnerability, and like they're just, they're not affected by anything. And so they can't really attach, they can't really bond, because again, they're really sending a fake false self, a paper mache cardboard cutout. So the fact that they can't bond with you or love you, no matter how much you love and care and attention and time and, caring and consideration and all these things that you try to put into them and put into the relationship, that actually has nothing to do with you, but your part is maybe that you kept doing that. You keep putting all of this, you stay in a position to be hurt for the possibility of love and approval from somebody who will never be satisfied with anyone or anything. They're totally insatiable, right? They're never happy. These are the least happy people you're ever going to meet. They pretend to be happy. It is a facade. It is complete hogwash, right? So they're not happy. They don't really experience real joy. They don't really experience like peace and light and love and joyfulness and light. They just don't, right? And so this person will never be happy, and you are trying to do everything you can to make them happy. And I would say that's where your battle lies. Your battle lies in stop doing that. Stop staying in a position to be hurt and abused for the possibility of love and approval from somebody who is incapable of giving anyone love, even their little babies, their children, their stepkids who are innocent, like children, right? They can't even love children, and they discard them as if they're a piece of garbage out the window, or they manipulate them and create and use them and create alienate them from the neurotypical parent, whatever. They're using their children as tools, pawns, or they just discard if they know they aren't going to be able to lie and ingratiate themselves with the children. Either way, these are people that can't even love children, right? I know they present a great mask, especially during the love bombing. I mean, the one I was with, like, love bombed the heck out of my son. So I thought, wow, that was really what got me, because I was like, wow, he's really amazing. He really cares for my son. But 10 years later, total discard. So as if nothing, like no bonding. There wasn't any bonding there. Same as the discard with me. Same as the discard with all our mutual friends who knew the truth about who I am and who he is, and knew that there was such a gap between what he presented in our life and who he pretended to be and who he actually was. The gap was so giant that our friends, who are logical, sane people that were mutual friends and spent time with us, they knew. The only people that he was able to work the smear campaign on were the people that who didn't actually know me. Those people he was able to do lies and manipulation, and that's part of his family. He kept his family very separate, kept his work people very separate, most of them. So that is one thing that narcissists will do. They'll really compartmentalize their different lives, because they got to keep their lies straight, and it's really difficult for them. It's a lot of energy. Can you imagine the exhaustion that must come from being a narcissist? You're constantly sending this mask to the world, and it's sometimes it's got to be like a different mask at work and with your family. I mean, that's got to be the most exhausting thing to be doing, because for people that get in touch with their true selves and their authentic selves, and we're okay being us, we can start sending our true selves to relationships and be like, you know what, this is who I am. Take it or leave it, you know? And it doesn't mean, or it could be, this is who I am. I know I have flaws. I'm working on them. I'm trying to improve. I know that these are my character defects. These are things I'm working on. This is what I'm trying to improve on and become a better human being. That's what neurotypical healthy people do. They recognize I've got some faults. I got some flaws. I'm working on them. I don't expect myself to be perfect in order to be loved. I'm trying to accept myself. I accept others and their imperfections. I don't have black and white thinking that everything needs to be black or white. If you are in a relationship with a narcissist that accuses you of black and white thinking, and you know that you're really good with being able to accept people who are, alcoholics, drug addicts, homeless people, you're very caring and considerate and loving, and you know that you do not have black and white thinking, just know that that is projection. Everything that a narcissist is accusing you of is probably what they are doing, right? Because they can't handle their feelings. They need somebody, a scapegoat, to sort of project their feelings onto. So when a narcissist is accusing you of black and white thinking, or whatever they're accusing you of, it's probably what they are guilty of. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here right now, but bottom line is, a narcissist is not going to be able to bond with you or love you because they can't love or bond with anyone, because they're not sending their true self. They are sending a false self. It's a mask. It's a representative. It's an ambassador. It's not a real person. And you fell in love with a piece of paper mache. And I know that is really hard to accept. I know you may look back on your life and go, oh my gosh, 10 years I spent with this person, 20 years, 30 years, was any of it real? And no, it really wasn't. Not their part. Their part was not real. Your part was real. You showed up. You probably were authentic. You probably were a real human being, and you probably truly cared for this person. I have no doubts of that you had true love in your heart for this person. What did you love? You loved a paper mache cardboard cutout, fake person. You didn't know that though. And how could you know? These people are masters at sending a false self. So there's no way that you could have known, but now you know. So now that you know, accept that reality. Accept that reality and recognize that the only reason, probably once the devaluation started, the only reason you were able to stay in a position to be hurt for the possibility of love and approval is because your internal inner critic is telling you things like, you're not worthy, you're not lovable, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough, this person's better than me, or I don't deserve love. And those are your inner critic monologue going on since you were a little kid because of whatever happened in your childhood. So I encourage you to start looking in the mirror and start saying some affirmations that are counteracting those lies, because those are lies. And I believe that this opportunity that you had with the narcissist, this is an opportunity for you to reach the highest level, or maybe not the highest level, but to reach a higher level of spiritual, emotional, and psychological growth than you have ever had in your life. This is your chance to heal that childhood wounding, that attachment and abandonment wounding, and that little inner critic in your head that is telling you that you're not worthy, you're not lovable, you're not good enough. And I encourage you to start telling yourself, like, I am lovable, I am worthy, I am wonderful, I'm kind, I'm caring, I love human beings, I have a lot of empathy, I want what's best for other people, I really, have kindness and compassion in my heart for others, and I want to have that in my heart and share that with others. I love people. So start telling yourself, I'm worthy, I'm lovable, I deserve to be loved, I'm a child of God, or whatever it is that makes you realize, that counteracts that inner critic telling you that you have to be perfect in order to be loved, that love is, you have to work hard to earn love. All of that is a bunch of hogwash. You are lovable. I mean, I personally believe in God, so I believe that God absolutely adores us, adores you, adores narcissists too. I just think they can't get in touch with that reality. I really believe that inside of every man, woman, and child is this fundamental idea of God. And for me, I believe that that I am worthy, I am lovable. I mean, I'm starting to believe that. And I know that my inner critic from childhood, because of child abuse when I was little, my inner critic tells me, you know, was telling me I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. And so when I got with the narcissist, they showed me, oh, I have to earn love. I got to work hard for love. If I don't work hard, then I'm not lovable or I'm not worthy. And I was with somebody who, no matter what I did, I couldn't be perfect enough for this person. No matter what I did, didn't matter how much I cooked and cleaned and made money and planned trips and, you know, went skiing and ice climbing and rock climbing and was the perfect like adventure buddy and, you know, filled up the gas tank and loaded the car and packed all the things and cooked all the food and did all the grocery shopping and took care of all the you know, things at home. Like, it didn't matter what I did, it was never good enough, because that person is insatiable. That's actually how they feel about themselves, I think, deep down inside. I feel that narcissists, if you think as a codependent that you feel unworthy and unlovable and your inner critic is harsh, my guess is that for narcissists, their inner critic is brutalizing. My guess is their inner critic is telling them that you are unlovable, you are disgusting, you're unworthy, there's nothing valuable to you. Like, I bet their inner critic that they may not be very in touch with is brutalizing them. So I'm not telling you that so you can slip on your compassion and stay in a toxic relationship if that's where you're at. I'm not suggesting that. But what I am suggesting is, you know, for all of us, changing that inner critic and telling that you know, nasty little inner voice telling you that you're not lovable, you're not worthy, you're not a beautiful child of God. Like shut that down. And you can do it by, you know, I look in the mirror and I say, I am lovable, I am worthy, I have a great deal of empathy for others, and I'm so glad that I'm in touch with my heart and my empathy. So just, I don't know, keep doing this. I don't know if this is helpful for you, but if you want some affirmations, put something in the comments below, and I will share some of my affirmations that I think are very helpful to start to changing that inner dialogue, changing that inner critic, and start giving yourself a lot more sort of positive self-talk, and start getting in touch with your mind and what it is telling you, you know, all this running stream of garbage, and start overpowering that. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you're thriving. I hope you're strong. I hope you get some great exercise today. I hope you do some positive affirmations. I hope you meditate. I hope you pray. I hope you get in touch with some sort of spiritual community that works for you. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.